Riga on the Baltic Sea. In this port, 3,000 ships are loaded and unloaded every year. There's cargo to and from everywhere, including goods transported to Russia, such as manganese ore from Africa. 1.4 million tons went there last year. Exports have been rising since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine.
Approximately 80% of our inhabitants would support sanctioning manganese ore on the national level. To do that, we have a tool, a very democratic one in Latvia, where we can gather signatures of at least 10,000 residents in Latvia. And then this initiative would be submitted to the parliament and they would have to look into it.
Manganese is used for steel and weapons production in Russia. It strengthens the products. And for now, transporting the metal via the EU is legal.
Being aware that this ore can be used for military purposes, for producing artillery or armor that can be turned against our people and our democracies, it's just like unthinkable. It's absolutely scandalous.
Thousands of Latvians work in the port. Riga is benefiting from trade with Russia. That's why Transparency International doubts the Latvian government will restrict manganese trade.
We have one oligarch, Aināram Schlesers, sitting in the parliament, and even a couple of weeks ago, also with this manganese ore topic, he was telling in the parliament that we should keep economical cooperation with Russia, otherwise our economy will collapse. But that's not true.
But that doesn't seem to be true, concludes a study by the Latvian Central Bank. It says that Latvia's GDP would see only a slight decline if it ended trade with Russia. However, Latvia's ports would suffer if trade were restricted. That's what happened after Russia annexed Crimea in 2014 and the government reduced trade with Russia by 60%.
We are following the World Trade Organization rules, European Commission rules and all the sanctions. And in this case, all this is in full compliance.
Meanwhile, there's a debate in the media about whether sanctions on Russia need to be tightened. Tax and trade expert Jānis Taukač is part of the discussion.
This manganese ore is just one example that the trade with Russia should be stopped if we don't want the war to be in our home. And this is the cheapest way currently to stop the war.
But unilateral action to restrict the manganese ore trade to Russia is unlikely. The Latvian government is calling for a European solution coordinated with the German government and other EU countries.
I think we have to admit that the most efficient way would be to include manganese ore in the EU sanctions list. Why? Because we have experienced quite a number of situations when Russia tries to put EU member countries against each other.
If Brussels banned the transportation of manganese ore to Russia, the Kremlin would have to find alternative routes elsewhere. That would cost time and money.